Welcome to our short video tutorials. In this video, we will show you how to enter and preview a payroll. Here we are at the home screen. We're going to go to Payroll and enter Payroll. Now you're going to have the basic screen set up here or the one you've used last. As you can see, you're used to entering hours, and here's the column over here for hours. We have added a couple new columns here for deductions. And here is how you can change these columns here for what you need to enter. Go to Setup. That will take you to this screen here. And I'm going to uncheck the deduction, and I'm going to choose Save Below. Now those two columns are gone. I just have hours. I'm going to go back to Setup. If you typically have overtime hours, check that. If you're going to pay someone for paid time off, commission, you can see that's how you do it. I'm going to choose Save. Now, I've set up the screen here so I can show you a couple things. As you can see, we have two lines here for employee with last name Goss and first name Steve. The reason is I want to change two things about his pay this time. I chose expense reimbursement, and I want to reimburse this individual $127.35. So I had that typed in. I also have a miscellaneous deduction, and I need to enter that on a separate line. So I had chosen that and decided that that was going to be $26. The next thing I'll tell you about this individual is their salary. So I'm not going to enter regular hours here because they are going to be paid automatically because they're salary. However, if I did need for some reason to pay them PTO or some other pay type, I can do that. The way I got this extra line here was I selected an employee. Next we'll select last name Kotzos, first name Jane, and I'm going to go down here and select the plus button. I can now do something similar for this individual. This individual has only been allowed or added deductions for the Section 125 cafeteria, which is medical, and a miscellaneous deduction. So we're going to change. Let's say that Jane, typically I knew she had $250 deducted per payroll. What I'm going to do is, for some reason, we only need to deduct $125. I can override that here. And we're also going to deduct a small amount from her for some non-specific reason we don't need to go over right now. So let's go ahead and we want to enter hours, overtime, and PTO for people that are not salary. You can sort this list any way that makes most sense for you. Let's just say I'm going to sort it by this column here, pay type, so I can see all the hourly people and enter their hours. So I'm going to go ahead and enter regular, overtime, and so on. From here, I'm going to save. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go back to Setup and show you one more thing you can do. If you need to pay somebody a secondary check, for example, you would like their expense reimbursement broken out on a separate check or direct deposit from their original standard pay, go ahead and check that box. There are a couple other things you can do here. We won't go into them because a very small percentage of employers use those, but we have more options for how you can customize this grid. I'm going to click Save. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I've entered the hours. They've totaled here below. The deductions or adjustments have totaled below. And now I'm going to choose this button, Preview Payroll. Some companies have more than one payroll to preview. So I'm going to choose this one here and choose Preview. Always check what are listed as errors. In this case, you're going to have errors because I didn't enter time for every employee, and because of that, if Michael Sharpell, this employee, doesn't have time, well, of course, you're not going to have sufficient funds to pay their pre-tax deduction. Just take a look at those. You might have made a mistake. Now I'm going to choose View Preview. You will get the payroll detail. This will show for each employee their gross wage. So for example, if you have the hourly rate times the hours, you will have the wage types, regular, overtime, and then you'll have the pay over here. You'll have the employee taxes right here. This column will be deductions, which will be the deductions for the employee and any employer match. And this will be the net pay right here. Over here will be the employer taxes, which is also called the tax burden. I can go look at the last page now. I'm going to scroll down. I could enlarge it, so I'm going to choose the in button to help us see this on our computer screen here. You'll see, if you were to look at the header at the top, gross wages are $6,482.10. Of course, you can print it or enlarge it on your screen even more. The net pay over here is going to be $4,451.17. Please write those numbers down. I'll tell you why in a moment. At this point, you can print, export, say to Excel, or email this document. Now we are going to let Pink Payroll know that your payroll is ready to close. So I'm going to go to Payroll, Approve Payroll. I'm going to select the payroll if there's more than one, but there's just one. And I'm going to select the button, Notify Payroll Rep of Approval. Now, you may have another option, which would be just to approve payroll. We have two options. In this case, if you have that option, you're going to click that button and you're going to type here those two numbers I asked you to write down earlier, gross pay and net pay. And just whatever that number is, type it in there. You can add some notes if you want. Essentially, it'll default to your main email address on file. So from, to, us. You can carbon copy yourself if you want. The subject's already there for your company and you're going to choose send. That will send us an email letting us know that you've approved your payroll. From there, we will check some taxes and check some information, then close your payroll. Now, if you have the other method, there will be another tutorial showing you what to do next. In that case, you will have full option to close your payroll and see the final reports right then. If you don't have that option, ask us for it and we can set you up for that second option. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Please visit our website video page for more tutorials or our YouTube channel.